Yeah, hi and good morning together to our today's presentation about Empolis Service Express, the all-in-one solution for data-driven customer service. My name is Jannik Westram. I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager at Empolis, and today I'm here with my colleague Brabänder.
Yeah, thanks Jannik, and also welcome from my side to our presentation here. We would like to give you an insight into why Empolis Service Express is helpful and is the all-in-one solution for data-driven customer service. So first we would like to start with the question, what are the success factors for customer-centric services? And the use cases you might know in customer-centric services are well known. So we believe that it's highly important to have the best possible support for hotline and support solutions. So have a data-driven platform that enables your hotline and support team to perform in the best way and to make your customer happy. And of course also making customers happy is today important because 24/7 solutions are important, and this can be done with a very good self-service that helps first of all your customer to help themselves, enables your customer to help themselves, but also reduces the traffic on your hotline and support team so that they can concentrate on the important stuff. And of course, you might have a field service team that has to engage on customer side, that has to be on site and repair machines and help in troubleshootings and solve problems on site. So also this is a use case where we want to dive a little bit more into today. And of course, to support that all in an optimal way, you need to have integrations. So integrations into ticket systems, into CRM systems, into ERP systems, because in all these systems, there are data that are important for your support team, for your customer service, and that should be used to solve the customer problems in the best way. On the other side, you need to integrate the knowledge generated in Service Express into these systems. And of course, last but not least, the knowledge that is generated, the knowledge that is within the brains of your experts, of your support team, of your customer team, that needs to be present everywhere. So you need also to be able to have a team taking care on knowledge engineering, on knowledge transfer. And this is also a very important piece, that we get the knowledge out of the head from the people into the knowledge hub, into the knowledge-based system with Empolis Service Express here. So these are the use cases that we see, and now let's dive in and let's have a look at the first use case. It's about hotline and support.
Yes, thank you, Eric. And exactly, I'm going to run through the very first use case with you, and it's about how you can improve your ticketing process in hotline and support. In general, if you're in a service call, then there's some kind of service agent on the other side of the line or on the other side of the email channel. And in general, he tries to help you as good as he can and as fast as he can. But unfortunately, they face some typical challenges that always occur. This might be technical barriers regarding the search, especially if the information is stored in silos. So then there are various storage systems that have to be looked up. In bigger companies, then you have increasing complex products or a huge range of product versions. So especially for multinational enterprises, it gets overwhelming, and it's even harder to find the right solution in the right time. Especially if then there are many documents and there's a huge amount of them in different languages and different variants, so it gets even harder. On the other hand, if you're a small or a medium-sized enterprise, then pretty often you don't have a consistent terminology, which makes it even worse to find the right document in the right time. And on top of that, you have always these recurring issues that appear over and over again. They just steal time from your service agent and from your customer at the same time. And even if your service agent is able to solve these problems easily, as he knows them by heart, then this knowledge is tied to this one employee. And as soon as he leaves the company, the knowledge is gone too. So what we think that your customers need is, first of all, a system that delivers a global search function, so that you can search above all information silos, that you can search for all documents no matter what type they are, and it should be intelligent enough, not just for sharp keyword search, but also to find variants, to find synonyms, maybe in different languages, and so on. And in the ideal case, you also have a system that is smart enough to show related content. So not the sharp keyword results, but also on top of that, maybe content that is relevant in your situation that you need to solve the problem. For sure, these information have to be valid, they have to be up to date all the time, and if you find them or your service agent finds them, then you have to share them easily and quickly with your customers or other stakeholders. So what we deliver, or the approach we follow with Empolis Service Express, is a service knowledge at the click of a button. So Service Express comes with a broad range of AI technologies, like automatic completion of search queries or topic-related document suggestions and so on. So lots of tools that really have an impact, a major impact on your daily work and increase your efficiency. Furthermore, you have a centralized access, which means that you have only one system, you have a single sign-on, and then you can access all the data, and you can also spread this data with a customizable role concept, for example. And on the other hand, there's one single login, but you can access all information sources, and with that you can overcome data silos. What we found here is an example of one of our customers, the Schneider Heavy Tools company, and we just start to look up for information. So we enter the name of a product here, in this case a leap hair, it's an excavator, and we look up for an error code that's shown on the display, and what we receive here automatically are the best suggestions for the solution. We already have this highlighted search results, and then we can share it, or we can filter it first, and if we find the right document, for example the operating manual, we can easily share it with our customers or your customers. Yes, and in this context we had a quotation that we really liked when the company Homag was talking about a Google-like service experience with Empolis Service Express, because it's exactly the approach that we are trying to follow, like to become the Google for service. And upfront about the Homag company, they have like 6,300 employees worldwide. They deliver customer service in more than 100 countries over the world in different languages, and you can imagine how complex this organization is. And when they started before Empolis, it was a bit old-fashioned that they had even printed documents in different archives. It was pretty time-consuming to look up for solutions, and furthermore they lost a lot of know-how due to fluctuation. And after the implementation, or during the implementation of Service Express, they realized that they have 2.1 million different documents in more than 6 languages in the system. They have faster access to the data, and at the same time they reduced their costs by more than 10% per service case. And furthermore, they also improved their data quality, because it's now easier for them to keep it up to date, and on the other hand, to enrich it with expert knowledge. So in this context, Peter Stolz said that Service Express allowed them to improve the data quality and reduce the cost at the same time, which in my eyes, or in our eyes, is the perfect approach to revolutionize your service business. And if we're talking about Google for services, then Eric, this should not be limited to hotline and support.
Definitely not. So we do not want to be Google for service. Definitely not. We do not want to be limited to kind of Google for service, as we are not just a search engine. It even goes much further beyond these cases. If you think about a field service, the main target is to have faster repairs in field service. And what we always find when our customers have a field service team, that when they are on site, when they are on the customer side, they find themselves with a poor network coverage. Often there is no good network. They are somewhere in a a basement, they are somewhere in a machine area where they don't have a good internet access and stuff like that. And additionally, they have long unpaid repair visits, and the time is even longer. They need to repair the stuff, so they need to be fast in finding the right solution and getting guided through this information. And often they have only a very few options for assistance from colleagues if unknown errors or problems occur. So that's exactly what we want to support on that side. We want to give them an easy access to the database, regardless of which device is used. So they can use our field service app. We have a field service app that supports iPhone, that supports Android phones, that supports Windows-based tablets and Surface tablets. We want to give them a step-by-step instruction which help them to identify the right problem in a very complex sense, in a very complex environment. So if you have complex machines, if you have different machine configuration variants, you need to be fast in identifying what is the problem and how can I solve the problem. And then there is another point. If a problem is solved in the field, often this information can be used to give it further to other colleagues, to help them to solve the problems even faster, the same problems even faster in the future. And so also this is important for us to gather this knowledge and easily transfer it to the colleagues. So this is where our field service apps come into the game. With Service Express, your employees will have mobile data available, even if they don't have mobile access. So they have their smartphone in the pocket, they use a Surface system, a tablet system, and they can have immediate access to the information, even if they are not online. So they have online and offline access to all the information they would need. They can prepare their cases up front and then go to the customer, and really the system can guide them to the right solution. And that's even more than just a search engine. This is really an AI-based assistance to the service technician. So they can find on the one side, and of course the information in the system about the documents, about all the information we have, but they also have, beside this search functionality, which helps them to really find fast this complex information and reduce the first-time fix rate, they can also be guided through a so-called direct assistance by even complex problems. And this is something we see here on the system. So here we go into our step-by-step guidance. So the service technician can select which kind of machine he has a problem with, what error codes he finds on the system, or what are typical problem descriptions. And so the system can guide him through this complexity of finding the right solution immediately by asking several questions, giving them yes or no answers, giving them several possibilities to choose. And the service technician always sees the remaining possible solutions. So he can see how he reduced the number of possible solutions for a problem by answering several questions, by filling in some information about the voltage of a system, of a platine, of different things, by answering questions that the system is asking him. So this is a system that gives guidance to your field service technicians and really help them to find the right solution and to find the right information at the point when they need it. This makes them much faster and much more efficient in solving service cases. Yeah, as I already mentioned, the system is available based on iOS and based on Android. We also have a Windows version for Surface and tablet versions, so that your technicians can use any system and have always access to the field service information they need. Customers that use that system, hier ist ein kurzer Cut, weil ich gerade aus dem Bild gegriffen habe. Fabia, sorry. Soll ich weitermachen, oder? Ja, mach. customers that use that system really gain great efficiency. And one customer here is Size Microscopy. And we can really say that they have integrated for their more than 1,000 employees, more than 7 systems in one central environment, in one central search. So you see many sources. One central search is very important. They have the knowledge available on and offline. And of course, the expert knowledge goes here digital to their service team, so they have always access to the right information. And as you might have seen in the Customer Insight Roundtable yesterday morning, we have also an important success factor, which is the integration into different systems.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it's nothing new that interconnectivity and APIs are really important and crucial success factors, especially for software as a service product, as Empolis Service Express is. So we really keep an eye on our APIs, but we furthermore strive to integrate our software as good as possible and seamlessly into your solutions. This might be third-party systems such as CRM systems or ERP systems, maybe product information systems, and so on. And it's especially important because only if you can cover the full range, the full process, then you are also able to analyze what's going on within your service organization. And then you have a better analysis of the service cases, and you can map out the potential for optimization and automation. So we think that your employees and partners and even customers should get quick access to data, maybe during a service call, and the data should be displayed directly in the third-party system. So exactly there where the work is and where your employee is working on, to really save time, to not have to deal with different systems, with different interfaces, which is pretty time-consuming. So we follow the approach that our integrations come with an automated solution suggestion, which means that the software directly scans, for example, tickets or emails for relevant keywords and already makes suggestions. What could be interesting in this case? What could help you to solve a problem? We have a situational data access, which means that you can easily expand your third-party system like CRM, ERP, and so on with our knowledge management, and you don't have to alter your processes. And in the end, this results in a greater transparency and better analytics, and it will really help you to get a better overview about your service organization and about the processes behind it. What we have here is an example, a pretty common integration of Microsoft Outlook. We're starting here from an email of for example, a customer, in this case it's Mrs. Lehmann, and she just asks for a product and for additional information. And on the right side in this bar, we see our knowledge portal, and we can automatically get the suggestions that are relevant. We can attach the document and share it afterwards. So this is really closing service cases within one system within seconds. Another and pretty similar example is our Zendesk integration. Here is Mr. Colin asking for a certain product. On the right side, we see this highlighting. We see relevant results and suggestions. We can filter for different documents all within the same application, in this case Zendesk, and then we can easily attach the documents or share the link and solve the problem pretty fast. Another one is Salesforce, but we will just count it here just as an example. And we brought some other programs that are already integrated into Empolis Service Express, what we already integrated with customers. And it's a broad range of integrations that are possible. So taking care of your APIs and having an open architecture, it became more or less a precondition for several other use cases, maybe to access websites or chatbots. But do we have other use cases in this context, Eric?
Of course we have. Otherwise, you shouldn't ask me, or you wouldn't ask me. So what we have in that case is, of course, also the possibility to implement self-service use cases. Jannik already mentioned chatbot integration, or a self-service website, or integration into other websites. And that's something enterprises and organizations often provide to their customers to enable them to solve common problems on their own, and to reduce, as I already mentioned in the introduction, to reduce the traffic to the hotline and support team. So identification and handling of problems regardless of the business hours, so 24/7 support, is a very important part, and having customers or giving customers the option to have no waiting periods. And of course, the desire of customers for straightforward and modern communication. Many, especially younger people in a younger generation, they even don't want to talk to a hotline employee. They rather want to solve problems first on their own, as they are more and more used to do so. And so you have to provide a self-service system to them. And the more complex a problem is, the better it has to be solved by a self-service system due to the diversity of your product range, the complexity of product configurations. So you need an AI-based system that really can support these use cases. You can't get that solved with just an easy knowledge tool. You really need to use a system that really helps you to have an understanding of your machine, of your products, and give your customers, your end users, the right information, and also to have an understanding of the customer language, because the customer language often differs from the product-specific terminology. So if I open up a specification or an official document, there are often different terms and information than a customer would name it. So if a customer describes a problem, it has to be found in the right way. And if a customer search on his own, he uses his language, his or her language. And in that point, it has to be translated to find the right information in your knowledge base. And that's exactly what we provide here with our self-service environment and our open API infrastructure, because we really can make it happen to integrate in different self-service environments to finally reduce the ticket volume and to make your customers more successful. And as I said, the use cases are to respond faster to standard online queries, to have a pre-qualification of your service requests, so to reduce again the traffic on the ticket volume. And of course, this is very important also to give role-based access to data. Our field service technicians, they need complete different information than our partner network or our customers. So we can, with our technology, we can provide different roles within the service level process or within your environment. We can provide them with complete different data and information in this solution, in this problem solution process. And finally, it also helps you to implement new business models. We have customers that provide self-service, and their customers pay for this information. So self-service, especially in B2B environment, can be a business case on its own when you provide a knowledge portal to your customers end user, to your customer service technician, to your customers planners. So there are so many roles within the organization of your customer that needs and want to have information about your products, that you can really make a business case out of that. One of our customers who implemented a self-service system here is Phoenix Contact. And the point is that the company's internal product consultants and the sales support departments were reaching their limits with 25 engineers and an overloaded ticket system. So what they implemented were about 10,500 documents and more than 130 service dialogues or decision trees that help their customers and their employees to use AI to find the right solution and to give them a guide to the right solution. So today, several millions of customers in more than 40 countries can really access the self-service portal through the website and use it for troubleshooting. But they also have now the possibility to to implement kind of chatbot technology and other technologies and at the UI front end to guide their customers. I brought a short video with me which shows that use case. So as you see on this slide, it starts really on their website, and if I click on the website to the knowledge portal, you see here that someone can easily search for a certain problem, get also proposals, find the right information, can search in different languages, and is also guided through our service dialogues, through our intelligence system, through the solution process. So if I find the information already in the product, I'm not forced, of course, to go through the service guide or to the dialogue, but if I want to know more, I can easily jump into a service dialogue, and then I get asked questions again and can run through a guided procedure here with all this information available in just one system. But self-service is something that helps to get a higher customer satisfaction and efficiency. But of course, with digitization, we have even more possibilities in service processes, especially if it goes about gaining new revenue streams. Jannik.
Yeah, exactly, Eric. And as we're getting closer to the end of the presentation, we brought something new now, which is especially cool, as we are not talking about efficiency anymore, or not only about it, or saving costs. No, in this case, it's about making revenues, and this in an after-sales department or even in a service department. So that's why I'm really happy to introduce to you our new extension to Empolis Service Express, which we call the Knowledge Panel. And it's pretty tough to explain how powerful it is. So that's why we chose this use case, especially in after-sales departments or in organizations that have very complex products or a huge or broad range of products. It gets tough to map up all this potential for after-sales. Maybe it's easy to sell the right or the identical spare part, okay, but what about other related products? Or what about operating resources, for example, like the correct oil to the machine? And that's a huge discrepancy, a huge delta, where companies fail to take advantage of this huge potential in after sales. And yeah, it's a poor performance. So what we thought about is how could something like this look for service? Maybe you're familiar with this view because it's taken from a pretty famous search engine. And I just entered Real Madrid as an example. And what this knowledge panel does, it collects information from different sources and fits them together cleverly, like pretty intelligent. So it shows me the matches of Real Madrid, or it shows me the players. So somehow the panel also understands, okay, a club is not a player, but they are in a relation together. And that's a very, very powerful tool if you use it for after sales, for example. So you will overcome data silos with it. You can maximize your spare part business or also extend it by selling, for example, operating resources. You can furthermore use it for other use cases and reduce the complexity in service and after sales in general. So what we have here is a short video which visualizes how this could go on. So you work in your familiar environment, for example, as a service technician, because a product broke down. Maybe in this case, it's a power inverter which broke down, maybe because the fan was defect, maybe it was not strong enough or something. And now you can either have your familiar or your already known search site, but you can also open this knowledge panel and get exactly that what we see in the Google example before. So now there's a smart collection of information and the relations between it. So here we see the fan, but we can also click on the product that it's belonged to. And in this case, it's a Sunny Tri-Power Core 1, but we also get a notice here, like, okay, there might be a better product with a stronger fan that don't have the same problems, and within one click I can extract it and send an email to my customer and ask him, hey, do you want the better version, and just ensure that this will not break down again. And that's how after sales is smarter, how it can become smarter with the knowledge panel. And if you lost the overview about all the use cases, I'm going to hand over to Eric to sum it up.
Yeah, thank you. And as you have seen with this knowledge panel integration, what we really do is we access many different systems, bring all the data intelligently together, because we use our knowledge graph technology to create a digital twin of your environment, so that every configuration, every variant of a machine can be brought up, and you can decide right now what is the right spare part to use in that case. So coming back to our summary here, we hope we could show you in our short presentation that Empolis Service Express is the right all-in-one solution for data-driven customer service that helps you to provide all the knowledge, all the data and all the information at the fingertips instantly when needed on the customer side, for self-service, for field service and service technicians, but also for your internal hotline and support team. Any case can be provided here, so that we can have faster repairs in the field service, that we can improve the ticket processing time, that we can really make your whole service process much more efficiently here, and help also to gain revenue in after sales. So that's basically our takeaway from today. Don't hesitate, talk to our experts in the chat, and let's see how we can help to make your service more successful. Thank you.
Thank you.